If you love causing ignitions in Destiny 2, you're gonna love this build. This build is mostly about scorching as much targets as possible, which also equivalates to you igniting them as well. Oh my goodness, dude, I just ate some chips. What are the chips called? They're called Doritos Dynamitas. Bro, they are spicy. Yeah, this is gonna be a spicy video. Enough chit chat, let's get right into it. We're going straight to the point. We're gonna be a fast AF. Let me first show you what exotic armor you're going to be using. It is Dawn Chorus. This is the main exotic weapon that will enhance your scorch effects on targets. And this one's actually pretty cool because you need to use the other super besides Well of Radiance for Warlock. That is pretty cool because you know everybody's gonna be like, put well. But for this build, you're not gonna put well this time. The other super is the projectile Daybreak super. It applies 30 scorch on hit, but if you have Ember of Ashes, it would be 40. And it would also deal 90% increased damage. Your Daybreak projectiles can often hit twice for double damage and double scorch. Scorchy Warchy. Scorch deals 200% increased damage, and each damage tick grants 5% melee ability energy. All right, let's head to the subclass, which is the Dawnblade. The super, I already mentioned it. Of course, use Daybreak. If not, then this build is not going to be 10 times better, but just put it on might. So primarily, you're going to be a whopping helicopter soaring through the skies and unleashing fire amongst your enemies. So I do recommend for the ability section, you would want to go for Phoenix Dive, Incendiary Snap, because I want to get those guaranteed ignitions, which stunt unstoppable champions. And also you're going to need to put Solar Grenade because that's like the best grenade for like scorching stuff. IMO in my opinion. And it's also good for clearing out ads as well. For the aspects, the first one you want to go for, which gives your Solar Grenade a big buff. It increases the linger duration, and it also emits a blob of lava around its perimeter. That's pretty cool. I do like the linger duration. It would also give you 2 fragment slots. The next one allows you to become a whopping helicopter. When I say helicopter, you're literally gonna be floating in the air like you're cheating on a game. This one's called Heat Rises. Whenever you consume your grenade, it would release a burst of healing energy, which cures nearby allies. That part's not gonna matter, but this one is. Final blows while airborne increases the duration of Heat Rises and grants melee energy. So that means the longer you're in the air, the more melee energy you're going to receive. So you're just going to keep snapping everything, which of course ignites. And of course, once you're in the air, you can also be able to fire your weapons, your melees, and throw your grenades while gliding. And you'll stay up in the air much longer once you have Heat Rises procced. You're also going to be getting 2 fragment slots, so you have 4 in total. Damn, I got something in my ear. What was it, a bug? Ugh. So let's start with the fragments. Last but not least, actually. The first one is Ember of Singeing, which gives your class ability regeneration rate faster whenever you scorch targets. And of course, we're scorching targets, so this is pretty good. The second one, Ember of Searing. This one's even good for your melee energy as well. Defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire spray. It would give you plus 10 recovery. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. You have this one to get melee energy. Your second one is Heat Rises. And yeah, so those are the 2 ways. I thought there was going to be more, but apparently there's 2. The third fragment is Ember of Char. Your solar ignition spreads scorch to affected targets. It would give you plus 10 discipline for this fragment. So yeah, you're going to be getting your guaranteed ignitions from your solar melee and for the exotic weapon we're going to be using. We'll go into that later. And last but not least, we can be able to enhance our scorch stacks with this fragment, Ember of Ashes. You apply more scorch stacks to targets, which allows you to get ignitions very easily. And if you don't have this, then what are you doing? This is a scorch build. You need to have this. And here are the stats that you should be using for this build. You for sure got to go for resilience and also discipline. But if you want to take the super route, you can go for intellect if you would like. And if you would like to see the seasonal mods that I have, which is, I believe, season 22. Yeah, season 22 will be right here if you guys are interested. Now for the weapons, each weapon causes scorch. So your kinetic, energy, and heavy will cause scorch. Let's head to the first one. It's an exotic shotgun, which you can get this from Root of Nightmare's raid, and it's the conditional finality. Here's how you can be able to generate scorch. It's from the second shot, which is solar. The first shot is stasis, the second shot is solar. And it's called Split Decision. Dual barrels split into stasis and solar damage. So it would be 2 shots in the mag. Of course, first is stasis, the second is solar. The first one freezes, the second one ignites. And the perk is called Paracausal Pellets. Landing nearly all stasis pellets will freeze targets. Landing all solar pellets will ignite targets. What's cool about this shotgun is that whenever you shoot your stasis pellet, the bullets will form into a triangle shape. And for the solar, it would form into a circular shape whenever you shoot it. Just a FYI if you guys didn't know. So whenever you cause an ignition from this shotgun, it would spread Scorch. So this is how you can be able to scorch targets with this shotgun. God damn, I'm burping a lot. Holy, I just had those chips. Golly, I didn't think I was gonna burp this much. The second one is a solar SMG, which is my favorite weapon in the entire game, which I love so dearly, is my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Callus mini tool. Even though I have Callus on my feet, but let's not talk about that one. The main perk to scorch targets is Incandescent. Defeating a target spreads a longer lasting scorch to those nearby. If you would kill a powerful combatant, the scorch will release in a larger radius. And this perk is also going to be for the heavy weapon we're going to be using. And there's also 2 perks that I do recommend for the Callus mini tool. This is one that I really love. I would use Threat Detector, but if you want to get healing even more, you can use Unrelenting. So any of those 2 would suffice. But for me, I like reloading, so I would go for Threat Detector. But if you can't be able to acquire the Callus mini tool, there is another variation of this SMG, which you can be able to get it in Season of the Deep, and it's called the Bug Out Bag. This also has the same perks as the Callus mini tool, so that's the kind of like a easier weapon to get. It also has the same RPM and everything, so it's like a twin brother, if I would say. So yeah, if you want to get that one, you can go for that one as well. Now for the heavy weapon, I already mentioned that this one has Incandescent, and it's a machine gun because Overload champions, this one's pretty good for this season, so that's why I put a machine gun, and you would want to go for Feeding Frenzy and of course Incandescent. So yeah, all of the weapons that we are using applies Scorch, which benefits for this build. We're like Scorchaholics, like we crave Scorch so we can get as much ignitions, because to be honest, getting an ignition is very satisfying. Any thoughts? No? Just me? Okay, I think it's just me. But if you have the same thoughts as me, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, let's head to the armor mods and what you'll need for this build. Let's start with the helmet. The exotic helmet and the mods you would want to go for are Harmonic Siphon, Dynamo, and Ashes to Assets. 2 of them would be good for your super, and the other one would be good for producing Orbs of Power. So Harmonic Siphon's good for producing Orbs of Power. Dynamo and Ashes to Assets are good for generating super energy. For your gauntlets, Heavy-Handed is super good for generating even more Orbs of Power. Impact Induction lowers the cooldown for your grenades when you cause damage with your melee. And Focusing Strike grants class ability energy when you cause damage with your melee. Now for the chest armor, they're all going to be resist mods. So I put Harmonic Resistance, which ties to your subclass, so it is solar. The other 2 are Arc Resistance and Void Resistance. For your leg armor, you're going to want to put Recuperation. Whenever you pick up an Orb of Power, it would give you HP. The next one, whenever you pick up an Orb of Power, it would reduce your grenade cooldown, which is Innervation. And for your last mod for the leg, increases the damage for your solar weapon. I do believe it's 10%. Yes, it is 10% in PvE, but in PvP is 3%, but you guys don't even care about PvP. So yeah, 10% in PvE if you have one of them on. And last but not least, on the Warlock bond, you're going to need to put Reaper whenever you activate your Phoenix Dive, and you'll get a kill afterwards with your weapons. You'll be granted an Orb of Power, and whenever you activate your Phoenix Dive, it would collect nearby orbs with this mod, Powerful Attraction. And whenever you activate your Phoenix Dive again, it would reduce your melee cooldown because of this mod, Outreach. So with all of these mods, if you activate your Phoenix Dive once, it would activate all of these mods. And if you'd like to see all of the mods, it would be right here on screen. Or you can just copy the dim in the link in the description. It's just one press of a button and you'll get all of the mods, but you do what you do. Whatever floats your boat, bye. So I did try using this build in Legend and Master Lost Sectors. If you play the cards right, it is very good, but I do believe that this build is very good for like the beginner of endgame, and it's very good in mid-game content. And if you guys would like to know how to use this build, I got you, homie. So here's what you need to do. You're first gonna want to consume your solar grenade, which procs heat rises, so you can be able to fly like a helicopter. Once you do that, your goal is to extend heat rises up to 30 seconds. So you can use like your weapons, your solar melee, anything that deals damage and of course eliminates enemies. And then as you're doing so, be sure to use your melee non-stop, because you're going to be generating tons of solar solar melee energy whenever you get kills in mid-air. So yeah, so stay in the air, melee kills, rinse and repeat. That's basically it, yeah. If you do like to see another build on the Warlock, I do have another one. It is getting your super, your void super very quickly. I did get my super in under a minute, so if you like to get your void Nova bombs very quickly on the Warlock, it would be in the top right of the screen if you're interested. And if you did enjoy this video and like to see more builds like these, let me know in the comments. If you have any builds in mind, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, or afternoon. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.